Thank you, Brother. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Love and Understanding, Circle of Love, Sunday gathering. So, as usual, let me just begin by inviting you to just turn within with me. And let's begin with a prayer. And let's know that prayer is not begging something up out there somewhere to do something for us down here. It's about being clear. It's about clearing our consciousness to see what? To see life as it really is. So our prayer is simply to be open, to see our neighbor as an extension of ourselves, and to treat them as such. To treat this planet and everything that's on it with the same respect. That we're all here in this magnificent flow of the divine. And let this energy of creation that has sparked this entire universe spark our life and everything that we do. Thank you, Spirit. And so it is. Well, we're very blessed to have Alon Lynn Fuqua back today. She's going to do
Improvisation.
Well, I tell you, improvisational chant today. Lynn, thank you. Thank you so much, Lou. Your amazing voice. Uh, Well, today's reading is from somebody I respect very highly, Michelle Obama, and it was something that she said to a group of graduating class, a college graduating class. She said, "Success isn't about how your life looks to others; it's about how it feels to you." You know, success is a evolutionary thought because when we're young, the people that are around us, possibly our parents, in most cases, but other people, influence the way that we look at life and what we're seeking out of life because we watch them, and in many cases, we want to be like them. And success for a lot of people was based about having a prosperous and healthy career and all of the amenities that came along with it. Um, I know that my parents were very much influenced because they grew up in the Depression. And because they had nothing at the time and really watched their parents work so hard just to survive, they they focused on wanting uh, to have a safe income and to be able to be provided for and not to rely on other things. I saw what they were doing, but I kind of strayed away from the desire for stability. I looked more for what thrills me. What can I do that really makes me want to get up every morning and be charged? And I started out believing that, well, if I become an electrical engineer, I'm going to do really uh, have a great career, make a lot of money, and so on. And what happened when I graduated and got my first job, I realized that sitting in front of a computer and designing stuff was a very lonely and boring thing for me. And really, it really wasn't what I wanted to do the rest of my life. It didn't thrill me. But working with computers thrilled me. I had a ball with computers. I designed Fortran programs to be able to do my homework even before I left college. And I really loved computers. And every time I worked with that and started to understand the abilities that people were given and the capabilities that were given based on how they could apply computer technology to their businesses, it was exciting. I learned when I left the engineering piece and went into software development and computers, I learned so many facets of industry. Some of the first industries I sold to were the garment center in New York City. And watching how garments were designed and made, and because we had to track all this stuff, and it was fascinating. And I looked up to these guys until somehow my career moved into dealing with computers in Wall Street. And on Wall Street, it was a very different scale of finances. What was $1 million in the garment center as a big thing was not even the interest on something that somebody did on Wall Street. I remember one of the first computers I sold to a gentleman who was a partner at Goldman Sachs wanted to know how many digits the the computer would take, and I said 16, and you could, decimal points. You could take some off the decimal points. He says, Forget about decimal point. 16, well, that'll just about do. And I was like, what? What they taught me, and I learned from all of these individuals as I matured and I was working, was that whatever it is that you did in life, if you really enjoyed what you did, you never really worked a day in your life. Because the fact that you enjoyed it so much, it wasn't work. It really wasn't work. They were paying you to have fun. And I've always felt that way because as soon as whatever it was I was doing stopped being fun, I started looking for something else because I recognized that success followed the fact that I was having fun, that I was enjoying myself, that I was being thrilled every day. And as I said, success evolved. It evolved for me, and I watch it evolve for the individuals who are my mentors and people that were the examples that I follow. I watched how the financial success became almost secondary because what they were starting to do was starting to look past their own needs. They were looking past that to see that there were a lot of people out there that were very much in need who weren't successful. And I found that the people who were super, super successful, also the most people that I met too. They were giving with their time with me. They would sit and actually give me lessons about the business that they were in and so on. So I got to learn it better. But they also were financially giving. They they donated to all these organizations. And some of them far more than just donating, participate. What I have found is that success has really shifted the way that I look at people because everyone's successful in their own right. You may not have the finances that show it, but if you have the track record of assisting people, of helping people, I've known a lot of people in my life that have started nonprofits, and their idea of success is how I've helped the individuals that I created this nonprofit for. How have they been able to achieve what they wanted to achieve? Not how I've achieved what I wanted, but how they have. It's a very different viewpoint. And it's that viewpoint that shifts our whole awareness about life. It's no longer me, me, me. The expanse is amazing because you've encompassed everyone. You care about people. You know, the Master Jesus said, love your neighbor as you would love yourself. Treat that person the same way you want to be treated. What a wonderful idea. And even more importantly, what a wonderful way to live your life. Because whatever area of success you're in, when you're sharing it, you're expanding your own view and your own heart. I saw a gentleman who's uh, a doctor for the City of Hope, which is a cancer research hospital. And all he's done his whole life is try to find ways of helping people move through the process of cancer to health, to wholeness, to peace of mind. I was mesmerized by just this conversation that this woman was having with him about what thrills him every morning. And he gets thrilled to come into work, to meet people, to put a smile on their face, to embrace them when they're at the lowest possible way. They were just told they have cancer, they have a short time to live, and he gives them hope. He gives them caring and love. It's amazing. You can't buy that. You can't buy the feeling that you receive from other people. I remember for over 13 years, I was co-director of a homeless ministry, and we provided food for people, and we did shelter parties at the local homeless shelters. We provided clothes, counseling, and all sorts of stuff. Every volunteer, every volunteer would say the same thing when we had our briefings together. I get so much more back than I could possibly give. The love that I receive, just the smiles that I receive from people. My gosh, you can't put a price on that. So what we're talking about today is success. And as I said, it's evolutionary. When you're younger, you want to have all these things and have your family and the house, the this, the that. Many people do. But as you've moved through a process, you start to realize that success is more about, first of all, knowing yourself. Who am I? Am I the person I want to be? Have I matured to that? Have I done the things I'm supposed to do to get to understand who I am? And am I acting that way? Or am I still acting like a child? Now, being childlike is a wonderful thing, but being childish is a negative piece. Being childish only cares about what I have. Being childlike is opening your eyes and seeing everyone as a friend. This is why we're here. We are here to learn, to grow, and then to share the joy and understanding that we've now come into an awareness of. And that doesn't have to be a financial thing. I know a lot of people who have very little finances, but they volunteer all over the place, and they are just so happy because they're giving. They're giving of themselves. There's something that settles inside of ourselves when we become successful in that realm. As Jesus would say, there's a peace that passes all human understanding. Because it's not our peace. There's a peace that is the same energy that created this universe that's rising up within us, that's having its way with us, that's being the thing that we see from rather than look at. The energy of the divine is inside of you. And finding success is not looking low here or low there for something. It's allowing yourself to look from inside of you outward, to know that everything that you see, every individual is a divine spirit, and they're a blessing, even if they don't seem to be, even if they don't act like it. There is something underneath it all that connects us all together. And it's that energy that you're seeing from and you're looking at. That's success. Because it's that peace that's inside of you that no one can change. If somebody's upsetting you, you've given them the power to upset you. Rather than forgive them, Father, they know not what they do. And move them. Success. Peace. Compassion. Understanding. And love. And love is not an emotion. Love is part of that energy because it's a absolute divine energy that connects us all together. It's how we communicate to each other at our highest level. We love. And when we say we love God, what we're talking about is we appreciate and we respect everything that's being created. God is simply a name that we've come up with. This energy is forever expanding around us. We have no concept of what this universe really looks like because there's only a certain small piece of it that we actually can see. There's so much more that we have no idea about. But that same energy is inside of me, it's inside of you. And it connects us together. Our real success is when we get to see that, feel that, and know that. You let nothing bother you. You simply allow the divine, this amazing energy, to flow through you. And to share it with everyone that you meet. Like I said, it's not about money and giving. It could be a simple expression of a smile, saying good morning to somebody. You've now connected, and you don't even know you made their day. You made their day. Why? Because the energy in you connected with the energy in them. That's success. That's more success than some billionaires have ever experienced in their life, or ever will. Because when you're focused on only getting something, you've left this whole big side of yourself that's a giving piece. You've left it off. Life is a circle. What you give will always come back to you multiplied. So that's why we watch our thoughts. That's why we filter them and we watch the words that come out of our mouth because they're so powerful. You can't take back the words that you're spoken. They're already there. They've done their work. And then we watch what we do. We look for the positive. We aim for everything we do to improve something, not to tear it apart. Pretty simple. But it's evolutionary. And we're all at that place in time, in space, that our evolution is to find peace and share. So let's get started from there. When you allow that idea to come to the forefront of your mind, and that becomes the preamble to anything that you say, to all the actions that you take. what you're doing is you're changing the whole vibration of this planet just by what you're thinking, saying, and doing. We are so connected to one another. There's a wonderful physics theory of quantum connection. It's called entanglement, where something here in this moment, we make a shift. And across the universe, not in light speed, but instantaneously, it shifts there. This universe is so amazing. It's how everything works. So it doesn't matter what you felt in the past and maybe things that you've done. Guess what? You can change it starting right now. So let's do exactly that. Let's set our intention to filter through the things that we're thinking and to grab a hold of the ones that are loving and supportive. Let's make sure that we filter our voice so that the negativity disappears and all we're saying are things that are supportive and loving. And that's exactly what we do. You've not just changed yourself, but you've affected others throughout the universe. That's the way I want to live my life. You can't put a price tag on it. Because in the end, that is what you receive in return. I got it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And so it is. Amen. Jade.
The truth is right here in this moment. And it's waiting to be known. But no one can teach you to be present. You've got to get there on your own. You might be looking for the eternal presence. It might be right there in your natural essence. Or maybe it's out there somewhere in the unknown newness. But I'm clueless. Yes, I'm clueless, but that's alright with me. Yes, I'm clueless. At best, I'm clueless. Just letting it all be. Now, you might have a way to get there faster. Taking it all in with no second thought. But for me, I'm practicing becoming a master at giving everything I got. Either way take the test. Every answer is just a guess. To you it might seem effortless, but me, I'm clueless. Yes, I'm clueless, but that's alright by me. Yes, I'm clueless. At best, I'm clueless. Just letting it all be. Now you can try to make sense of the mystery, but you'll always be one step behind. So me, I keep seeking possibility and let it open up my mind. I separate the fact from the fiction. I'm making my peace with the contradiction. Sometimes I surrender to the splendor, so I don't miss the bliss. And still I'm clueless. Yeah, but that's alright with me. Yes, I'm clueless. At best, I'm clueless. Just letting it all be. When I get it figured out, I'll hand it off to you. You might pass it back and ask, how do you know it's true? Maybe this all just a dream waiting to seduce us. But still I'm clueless. Yes, I'm clueless. But that's alright by me. Yes, I'm clueless. At best, I'm clueless. Just letting it all be. Maybe we're all clueless. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Thank you, Brother. Well, this is our conscious sharing time. Your donation information. So the most important thing is always that what you give, you emblaze with the divine energy of love. Because when you do that, you give love and you receive love in the form that you will. So let's just bless the gift of the giver and just know that it always is divine. Thank you. and so it is. We bring up the prayer protection. Let's say the prayer protection together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And all is well. Well, thank you for being with us today. And if you are watching this on YouTube, this is not the end of our service. Everyone that's online right now, as we stop the recording, gets an opportunity to share their insights. We learn from one another. So I invite you to join us. The website that was just listed, www.lovingyou.org. You can go there anytime before 10:50 a.m. Pacific time. At the right-hand side, it has the topic, the Zoom link. Press the link, you're led into the room, and you call the service. You don't have to say anything, but you get an opportunity to hear everybody else's. And if you do want to give your insights, we're here to hear you. So think about that. Also, think about something about today. You will not be remembered for what you acquired in life. You'll be remembered by the people that you touched. And that's your memory. How did you touch somebody today? So let's know that every thought we think, every word we speak, every interaction we have is an opportunity for us to connect with one another on our highest level. That when we touch somebody else's heart, we touch our heart. When we smile at someone, we receive a smile back. Maybe from someone else. But that smile is something that travels the universe. That idea travels at more than light speed. It's instantaneous. So we just readjust our view of what success may be. You know that all those wonderful things are good, but they're not the only thing. Our life is about sharing, giving, receiving in return. Thank you. Thank you for joining us today. Let me stop the recording. I'm going to start off on sharing service.